Hello and welcome to the Everyman's Wrestling podcast. Um, my name is Stephen Daly and I'm joined by Simon Campbell. Unfortunately, Brandon is indisposed at the moment. Um, Hopefully, he will be able to join us later on in the show, but if not, he'll be joining us at another time. But as we go on, there's just Simon and I this evening. We kept this one a little bit quiet. Today's episode, we're going to be doing our top fives of our best picks of promos from throughout the years. Um, Simon, hello. Say hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hey. So what we'll do is hopefully Brandon will be able to patch in. But Simon and I will fly on our own at the moment. So our trio is a duo at the moment. um, but what we'll do is we'll start with our number five picks of promos. So I'll go first, Simon, if you're okay with that.
That sounds good to me, mate.
So my number five is John Cena. One of the best promos I've ever heard from John Cena was when he was feuding with Roman Reigns in 2017. Roman was perceived as the guy within WWE. Well, that's what the office wanted, but it wasn't what the crowd wanted. They didn't want to be told who to cheer for. So it was the go home episode of Raw before the PLE No Mercy. John standing in the ring alongside Kurt Angle, who was the general manager at the time. John begins his promo and he says, "This could be a WrestleMania level match, but we're doing it now to give the crowd what they want." At this time, John has already started his movie career and he's no longer a full time scheduled WWE superstar. He says, "This is what it's all about. This is what he came back for. He came because he heard about this guy who runs the yard, who runs Raw, the big dog, Roman Reigns." He says everybody keeps talking about this guy, Roman Reigns, a blue chip prospect who's being protected. But then there's him, and he points to the crowd and he says, "We've all been through a whole lot of stuff together, and we know it, you know it, that John himself has no F's to give. And he's the only dude there is no protection from." He says he wants to fight Roman because Roman doesn't want to face him. Then Roman comes out and begins his rebuttal. He quickly loses his flow and what he was about to say gets completely lost. And John really quickly says, "Okay, kid, it's called a promo. If you're going to be the big dog around here, you're going to have to learn how to do it." It was brilliant. He schooled Roman Reigns. Although Roman had only just kind of started his career and he'd only kind of been in the main roster for quite a short time, but John showed his class and totally outshone Roman. I love that promo. Don't know if you remember that one side.
I do, but I've not really watched it in ages, to be honest. But from what I remember of it, it was a really, really good promo.
Um, so, sorry, what was your number five?
So my number five was I'm gonna go back to TNA when there was a wee segment in between Eli Drake, who in the WWE is LA Knight. He did his own little talk show called The Fact of Life. Um, and when he was in the ring, Eli Drake had this thing called "Dummy," yeah, and every time he would say something, he'd push the button going "Dummy," yeah. Um, and so Eli Drake introduced his guest, which was the cowboy James Storm, who was in the WWE for quite a short period of time. Um, and James Storm said to LA Knight, "Let's have a wee drinking game. Every time you push a button, um, let's have a swig of beer." Then LA Knight would bring out this big, massive water jug thing, and he just kept on pushing, dummy, yeah, dummy, yeah. And James Storm just got sick and tired of it, and he went, "Let's play a new game. Every time you push that button, I will punch the living piss out of you." And then obviously Eli Drake took a wee bat thing, going, "Yeah, no, no, I don't need to be slapped. You don't need to be slapped. This button's not going to be slapped." Um, and then Eli Drake said, "Right, get out of my ring." Walk to the back, and the best bit about it was he actually was talking to disrespecting the fans, and then he pushed the button, and he goes, "This was an episode of Fact to Life, blah blah blah." And then next minute, last call super kick from James Storm, and then James Storm goes, I don't need a button to say this. Sorry about your damn luck." And then his James Storm's entrance came on, and then he just walked out the ring. Um, Brilliant promo for that. I quite liked it. I could have put it somewhere in between three or four, but it was good, but not good enough to go nearer the top. Sh- I'm going to do a wee shout out to James Storm. If you're hearing this, brilliant episode. LA Knight, brilliant. Dummy, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that feud back in the day. It was really good. Um, yeah, the chemistry between the two of them was great, and it was really really funny. And their matches were brilliant as well. My number four is Mike Mizanin, also known as The Miz. This promo was on an episode of Talking Smack, which is it was an internet show before SmackDown, the people who were on SmackDown. And the general manager of SmackDown at the time was Daniel Bryan. He had a, a career-ending injury, and well, they thought it was a career-ending injury, but he was off for quite a long time. So he became the GM of SmackDown. And so they're on this episode of Talking Smack, and Miz was the Intercontinental Champion at the time. And Daniel started to bait the Miz. And he said that he thought the Miz's work was soft and he was afraid to take the hits and he was a bit of a coward. The Miz would take umbrage with this, as you would, and this statement would bring this reply. He says the reason that he wrestles is because he wrestles in and day out for 10 plus years. And he doesn't get injured. He's never got injured. And he'd follow up with, "You want to talk to someone who's a coward?" And he gets out of his seat and he says, "You are the coward. You are the one who told all these people, all the fans, that you will come back and you will reclaim your title. And you didn't. Did you, Daniel?" He says, "I'm the coward. I'm the one who doesn't love the fans. Um, you don't. You quit. You go back to your indies and tell your indie friends that you couldn't hang in WWE. You could see how awkward Renee Young and Maurice, the host, and the other guests, respectively, felt." Renee tries to butt in, but Miz says, "No, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to Daniel." and he says to Daniel, "You are the coward. You don't deserve to be here. You should be get back into the ring." Daniel walks off. And then this bit, I start. I told the guys that I would call this promo going full Miz. Miz picks up the title and he says there's a reason that he has the title and he's made it the most prestigious on
Mm.
SmackDown Live. He shouts to the cameraman, demanding, "Come over here." And he brings over the cameraman and he says, "Understand this. This is 141 days of the title world tour. I could care less about the other titles. I could care less the other people in the back. I'm sick of everyone criticizing me. I'm done with this. This is my show. Thank you very much." He walks off camera. And to steal a line from The Miz, that was awesome. What a promo.
I mean, to
What
be
a promo.
honest, currently right now, he's had this gimmick now, where everybody says that he's got tiny balls, and then he goes, "I don't have tiny balls. I've got gigantic balls," and all that. And Miz, yeah, what one hell of a um in-ring competitor.
Oh,
Really,
yeah.
really, really good on the mic. Um,
Yeah, he's
he
really
he
entertaining.
he literally whatever he says on the mic, he literally backs it up.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, there's been so many good promos that Mike that the Miz has done.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
he's the only, I think he's the only two-time Grand Slam champion within WWE. He's won, I think,
uh,
9 times Intercontinental Champion, 3 times World Title.
is he not a three-time Grand Slam?
Is it 3 times? Oh, I thought it was just two. Maybe it was three.
I
Um,
I think it's three. I think.
yeah, we can fact check it later.
Yeah.
Guy, you're number four.
So my number four. Do you remember back in the WWE when Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens were a tag team?
Hmm.
Um, and Chris Jericho did all this. You know what happens when you disrespect me and my best friend? You just made the list. But this one is back in AEW. Hence the reason why I'm rocking AEW is Jericho. Um, so there was a promo when Chris Jericho went back to AEW. Was just about to re-sign a new contract for AEW, and Ricochet came out. Um, Ricochet was also in WWE for maybe 3, 4 years, I
Yeah, I
think.
think it's about right. Yeah, yeah,
Um, and then obviously on the back of his contract thing, it had AEW, and then Ricochet was just giving it all less, and then he slowly rips off the AEW bit, and then it says the list of Jericho, and and then he brought back the list of Jericho. Um, I'm not very good at trying to mimic his promo, so don't even ask me to do it.
What you mean? You just made the list.
Yeah, but
Oh,
but the way that he says it with the grit in his voice, yeah, it was good to see him bring the list of Jericho back. And I think that was another one of my best promos. So
yeah, it worked really well in WWE as well, and it is working within AEW at the moment. Yeah, I remember I watched that not that long ago. It was quite good. It was a good promo, and him and Him and Ricochet had good chemistry together. Um, my number three is Dusty Rhodes. This promo has gone down in wrestling folklore, and it's known as the Hard Times promo. It was in 1985, and it was in World Class Wrestling. Dusty comes out in his normal flamboyant attire. He has just come off a match with Ric Flair. He starts to address the fans by thanking the fans, and then he addresses Rick, who's the world heavyweight champion at the time. And he says there's no respect or honor among thieves. He he put hard times on Dusty Rhodes, as in Rick. You don't know what hard times are, Daddy. Hard times are when you're a truck driver and you have no work and 5 kids, but you can't buy their food. Hard times are when someone works for 30 years in the same job and is given a watch and gets a kick in the ass and says your job's from taking over my computer. Rick, you don't know what hard times are. You've brought hard times to this country. You took out Dusty Rhodes. My belly might be big, but everybody knows I'm bad. It's just this tremendous promo from Dusty, obviously Cody's father, the current champion. Um, but yeah, oh, he was so good. He even just had like his lisp and stuff, but he really brung it into his character, and he always had like the flamboyant clothes and stuff. He was ace. I mean, he always just take the promo classes for the up and coming guys. I thought he was brilliant. Um,
I Dusty Rhodes, all time legend. R.I.P. to him.
oh yeah,
Um, and especially when you mentioned his lisp, um, he made it cool,
yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Um, yeah.
Like Cody's kind of the same. He doesn't hide away from his lisp at all. He brings it into it, and if people take the piss out of him for it, he just goes, "Yeah, I've got a lisp." So
So
what?
what? So of it.
Um, yeah. So, Sai, let's go for your number three.
My number three is a another AEW promo in between MJF and CM Punk. This one goes down to the best promo of all time, I think, in my opinion. Um, where MJF completely smack talks Punk, calling him PG Punk, anti Punk, and then with MJF referring a lot of the WWE superstars, but CM Punk says to MJF, "You are just a less famous Miz." Um, and I actually watched that literally just before we went on live, and all the fans just went, "Ooh!" I mean, I'm not going to go through the entire promo, but if you want to go watch it, it is on YouTube. If you just type in AEW MJF CM Punk's promo, I think it's like 10 or 11 minutes long, but it's definitely worth the watch. I
Yeah,
would recommend it.
yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. And the two of them just absolutely spit bars between the two of them, and their chemistry was undeniable. They were brilliant, the two of them. Yeah. So let's move on. Let's go to number two. My number two is also MGF. He's such an amazing heel, in my opinion. He starts with saying how much he's in pain from his last match, but the crowd doesn't want to hear it. They start booing the crap out of him. Gets the instant heat from the crowd. But he says, you don't care how much I'm hurt. You just want to hear me talk, right? And he goes, okay. Well, this is Max Friedman talking. He goes directly to his boss, Tony Khan, and he starts berating the absolute crap out of Tony and the other executives. He says, Tony, it's a big night, huh? You've got the executives here. It'd be bad if something bad was going to happen. And he starts talking how embarrassing Tony is and how much of a joke he is. He then says at the start of this promotion, he called AEW friendship wrestling. Everyone's welcome, but he had to make his own path, make his own moments. It goes from here. He starts berating everyone and calls out everyone within the business. No one is safe. He says, if I was an ex WWE guy, would you like me more? Would you treat me better? The guys that have joined this company who are WWE guys, they're getting better than me. He then closes. He's absolutely seething. Looks like he might even blow a gasket. He shouts down the lens of the camera and he says, Tony, fire me. You fucking mark. Fire me. This promo was absolute gold. As soon as he came out, the crowd were glued on their seats. Everything he said, it was either a oh shit or a whoa, you shouldn't be saying that.
Yeah.
But that's the way Max does it. He's one of the best for a reason. He's brilliant. Really hope if when we go to the one in Glasgow in April, at the Hydro, I really hope MJF's on the card. What a talent! He's so brilliant on screen. His promos are brilliant. His matches are brilliant.
I mean, that's the thing with MJF though. He's I think he's what been in the wrestling business what 3, 4 years or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's 3 or 4 years. Yeah.
Um, but it just shows you how far he's come. He's a two-time AEW champion.
Three,
Um,
three.
or three, sorry. Um, and this guy can literally say say shit on the mic and get away with it. And
Oh,
this
there's
and this
sorry.
is why I think because AEW is more like an 18 plus
Mm-hmm.
because there is like a lot more swearing in promos, um a lot more blood, um
Color, as you like to call
color,
it.
yeah. I just think with AEW, it's okay, yeah, it is also a family show, but I think with it being with so much swearing, so much color, more extreme. I mean, like I say, MJF. As much as I don't like the guy, he is really good in the ring and really good on the mic.
Yeah.
I mean, he even when he's not in the show, he still keeps his heel character in the in the interviews and everything.
Mm.
I think there's probably one interview I think where he's not done it in his MJF character,
Mm.
but
Yeah, I think was that another one with Chris Van Vliet.
that's it.
Um,
Yeah,
um, but Chris is shout out to Chris. Probably one of the best interviewers and wrestling podcasters out there. He's so gracious with his time. He really asks really good questions to all his interviewees. And I think he makes them really relaxed as well. So, Chris, if you're watching this, big shout out to you, big man.
big shout
Um,
out, mate.
yeah. So let's go for our number ones. Do you think we're gonna have the same one?
Are we not done number two yet?
Oh, sorry, you've got your number two. I'm on my number one. My apologies.
So my number one is the AJ Lee when she was the Divas champion and she because she is married to CM Punk and she dropped the biggest and the best um, pipe bomb, um, saying that all the cast of Total Divas were all talentless actors, talentless wrestlers, um, and she literally just went to town. And go back and watch that promo. I just like the way that she just basically did a CM Punk,
Yeah.
um, what he would normally do as a promo. She literally just belittled Nikki Bella, Brie, Alicia Fox, Natalia, the Funkadactyls.
Mhm. Oh yeah, she took
Um,
them all. She took them all down. She
yeah,
took them all down. Um, yeah, I remember that as well. Absolutely awesome pick for a promo. Yeah, as Sai says, everybody go back and watch that. Brilliant. AJ's stuff so underrated, and she had a big hiatus because she fell out with WWE, but now she's back. So thankfully she's back alongside her husband CM Punk. Um, and hopefully we get to see more fire promos. Yeah, Sai, great pick. So we will go to our number ones now. Sorry. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Yeah, go on.
So my one, I don't know if this was in the if it was a COVID. I think it was run about the COVID era, back in AEW again, when Chris Jericho became the very first ever AEW champion. And I think Stephen, you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
Um, and he comes back and he's just spitballing everyone, saying, "Oh, when a new champion's crowned, it's like everyone's on their feet, clapping and giving him praises." But nobody did when he won it. And he went to the Young Bucks actually and said, "Oh, are you not going to give me a thank you? Are you not going to congratulate me? Um, Even if you did, you can go and f off." Um, and then he would smack all the catering food that he had, and there is a thing that he says, and he goes, "There's some a little bit of the bubbly," which is fizzy wine. And I think to this day, if anybody knows what I'm talking about, when they got a little bit of the bubbly,
Yeah, it's so
um,
funny. It was so memeable as well. Like, uh, all through COVID, like people were sending them, people are going like, um, we're having a little party or we're having a wee drink at the house. Let's have a little bit of the bubbly, and you would just see the
yeah.
picture of Chris. It was brilliant.
I mean, to
Yeah,
be
so,
fair though, I think in our first concert
mhm.
with Fozzy, did we not shout out a little bit of the bubbly?
Yeah, and he shouted back, and he was like, "I don't have any,"
Yeah, I remember that.
and everyone in the whole crowd's going bubbly, bubbly.
Bubbly,
Oh,
bubbly.
it was so funny. Yeah, I remember that was brilliant. Yeah, shout out to Chris, one of the best ever to do it. What an entertainer, still going. I mean, the guy's he's probably about 50. Um,
He's I looked it up. I think he's 55.
right, okay, so well, in his 50s, still extremely agile on the ring, still brilliant on the mic. Yeah,
I
um,
mean, he's going to be in London this year with for Stadium Stampede with, I think, is it the Young Bucks, the
yeah, yeah,
Hurt Syndicate.
yeah, yeah. So it's yeah, they're going to be the Stadium Stampede match, yeah. Um, and also hopefully he's going to be at the show that we are in Glasgow. Um,
Touch wood.
yeah, yeah, that'd be cool. But yeah, this I'll go for my number one, and hopefully you agree with this pick, because I think it was a pretty good pick. I mean, I went backwards and forwards, as I said before. I went backwards and forwards with the placement of all these because I think they're all kind of really quite deserving to
Yeah.
be on this list. I mean, it's kind of biased, and we're not a big show, but we'd like to talk about wrestling, so we thought let's do our fives again for the promos. And yeah, so my number one on promos, I'm not actually going to go for a specific promo. I'm just going to talk about the one and the only Paul Heyman.
Oh, I
I
I
can't
regret not putting him down.
I can't think of a specific promo, but every time Paul comes into the ring, all he has to say is his name. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman.
Hey, man.
The whole crowd shouts it back, and they're hanging on his every word. Anything he says, be it a good promo, be a bad promo, like being a bad guy character, a good guy character. If he's with Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns, CM Punk, whoever, he's got it. He's got the passion. He's got the emotion. He's got the range of storytelling. It's always a masterclass with Paul. Um, sure, he's a Hall of Famer already. Um, he used to run ECW. So that shows you how talented a guy he was. Um, and then he came to WWE, does a lot of stuff for WWE backstage. He is
I think is he not
basically,
creative? Is he not?
yeah, he's in creative, yeah. But I think he does a lot of stuff for like producing some of the matches as well.
Yeah,
But yeah, what a talent, what a guy. He's so, I mean, he's such a unassuming. You wouldn't because he's not an ex wrestler or anything. He's just a big fat guy. So, sorry, Paul. But yeah, what a guy on the mic. I mean, there's no one who can touch him in my opinion.
I mean, I do remember one promo that Paul Heyman did,
Yeah, go ahead.
and
Yeah,
I can't. The thing is, I can't remember if it was on SmackDown or Raw,
no, it's not.
and there there was a segment where he mimicked John Cena's theme song where it went do 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 do
Oh
do
yeah.
do do
Oh
do.
god, you did that last night again.
Yeah,
God.
aye. um,
That was funny.
and 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 exactly like you say, Stephen, he doesn't have to open his mouth.
Mm.
Um, I mean, I think there's been a few times where he's come out on stage and the fans are going, "My name, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman,"
Yeah,
but and then he's gone, "Excuse me, no, I do that,
yeah.
not you."
I think it's brilliant when whenever he's representing one of the champions like Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar, and he's getting announced in the ring by like Alicia Taylor or Mike Rome or whoever.
Yeah,
Um, and then they're like, "I'm the champion," and then he goes over and grabs the mic and he goes, "The reigning, defending,
defending.
undisputed champion of the world, Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns."
Yeah,
But yeah, just so charismatic, so brilliant. Yeah, awesome.
I mean,
Um,
I think one day, if we ever had the chance, it would be nice to either meet him or maybe one day, Paul, if you listen to this, would you like to be a special guest?
yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, if we're lucky enough for that. But yeah, I don't think we're quite as big as that at the moment, but we'll see what happens.
Stranger
Um,
things have happened.
yeah. So on that note, um, do you agree with my pick that Paul was the best of all time?
Oh, one. Do you know what? I had no diggity doubt about Paul Heyman.
No diggity doubt, no diggity dog.
I
Um,
I wish I actually had Paul Heyman as my number one.
yeah.
At the time I just couldn't think of one Paul Heyman until now, and I
Okay.
thought of that
With
Cena.
that, with that, I'm taking the dub, and I think we should wrap up the show. Unfortunately, Brandon was in again, unavailable. But he will be with us next time. He surely will be with us next time. Don't worry, he's okay. He's just having some stuff back home. He's getting a remodel of his kitchen. That's all I need. That's all I need to tell you. But yeah, so we've been Stephen Daly, Simon Campbell. Usually have Brandon, but you'll be here with us next time. Collectively, we have been Everyman's Wrestling Podcast. Thank you again for everybody for joining us and watching later if you are. Um, Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook,
Facebook.
um, and listen along on Spotify. And it's all under Everyman's Wrestling Podcast. Until next time, you guys, thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
And good night, good night, and God bless everybody. I hope you guys have a brilliant night or brilliant morning wherever you guys are watching us.